Titans Talk here on News Channel 5 Plus. My good friend from Titans Radio, Rhett Bryan, with me tonight, taking your phone calls. 615-737-7767. To the phones, Winnette will lead us off. Winnette, welcome in.
Hello?
Hello. Hey, Winnette.
Hey, my name is Burnett.
Hey, Burnett. I'm sorry.
I was calling. I was just wanting to ask a question. I went from the Titans to looking at a movie, and I'm hoping when I change back that they got, you know, this score where I'll be excited, jumping up and down and kind of, you know.
So you're trying to help them out by not watching.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to understand, because I got kids and grandkids play football, for them to be an NFL team and they not even get a field goal, and when I did turn it back, I found out the score was from 7 to 10, and I'm trying to figure out for 4 quarters, they only get 1 touchdown. It seemed like somebody paid them to lose. I'm just sharing that with y'all.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
Yeah, because I was really upset. And I'm thinking 7 and they never got a field goal or nothing else. It just seemed unreal.
Burnett, thank you for the call. 10-7 was the final score. The 1 touchdown was set up by an interception by the Titans defense.
David Bass, and then 1 play later, Zach Mettenberger hits Kendall Wright on a 19-yard touchdown. And, you know, that's the thing that helps explain some things to Burnett is that, you know, the Titans were facing the #1 ranked rush defense in the National Football League, and the Falcons only allowing 78.8 yards per game. And so it was a tough battle all day long. And you felt like in those first quarter and a half going into the end of the second quarter there that they were kind of sizing each other up and you know, kind of like in the old school professional wrestling matches when they would do the Greco-Roman knuckle lock, trying to test each other's strength. It's kind of, they were kind of like feeling each other's strengths to see, you know, who had the better match until somebody made a move or made a power move. And, you know, you had the feeling it was. I thought it would be a much more higher scoring affair than what it was. And yeah,
I did too, because you had Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. You had an outstanding rushing attack.
Oh, Devontae
outstanding for Atlanta. By the way, they get paid too, Burnett. The other team does get paid too. And for the Titans with Zach Mettenberger, I was expecting more throws downfield because of the arm, and maybe the protection issues and the injuries played a factor there. But again, they were running the football well. They did not do well on 3rd down, just 1 of 9 on 3rd down, which is a big reason why they were not on the scoreboard all that often. But I was expecting more passes.
I thought it was a place for a resurgence chance for Justin Hunter and a place for Dorial Green-Beckham, and certainly for Kendall and Delaney to continue to be in the mix. In terms of the offensive line, we talked about the injuries, and it was the walking wounded and all kinds of miscellaneous changed out parts. I thought they did well considering what they were up against in terms of Vic Beasley and that defense only surrendered a sack, 1 sack on Zach Mettenberger all day. And I thought, you know, considering they did well, they just didn't finish a couple of plays, and that's probably the difference in this ball game.
Let's go to Jasper next up. Hey, Jasper.
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing?
Awesome.
First of all, Jonathan, I want to say I really enjoy you on Midday 180, and Brett, I think you do a good job on Titans Radio. I appreciate all the work y'all do, because it's always entertaining. You're talking about offensive line depth, and I was just wondering, you know, is part of the problem there with Wisenhunt and him not being able to make calls and, you know, do the offense the way he wants to because they're so injured. And if that's the case, and I mean this, it's a serious question, could they go and maybe like re-sign like Bruce Matthews or something?
Great question. Jasper there from Marshall County. Maybe Bruce would help out.
Bruce has probably got plenty of things to do watching his sons play in the National Football League. That Matthews clan has got some serious gene pool going on there, man.
Hope Jasper calls back in next week.
Yes, the pride of Marshall County.
Sean is next up. Hey, Sean.
Yeah, I was going to ask a question. Is running back Cobb supposed to be active this week? And if so, you think they'd use him and Antonio Andrews as a 1-2 punch?
And it's a great question, because Cobb is kind of the forgotten guy in this running back core. You've got David Cobb on the mend. He could play against the Saints.
That's correct. Yeah, he would put it on injured return with designation to return, as they started that at 2 or 3 seasons ago. He's the first Titan to go under this particular.
He's practicing
protocol
now, but he cannot return to a game until week 8.
And so the 8 weeks out, I think 3 weeks, the last 3 weeks of that 8 weeks, you can start practicing, which that was last week. He had a full week of practice. He will continue, and they'll continue to test out the calf and everything. But yeah, he should be able to be, if he is 100% ready to go, you should see him in New Orleans in the Superdome to play against the Saints.
I'm intrigued to see how that all works out, because they traded for Terrence West because of the David Cobb injury in the preseason. He's been inactive. Antonio Andrews, I would love to see him get more opportunities, especially with the way he ran the football yesterday. Dexter McCluster has done well, especially in passing situations out of the backfield. Bishop Sankey is a non-factor right now, just point blank. He's a return specialist for this team. And Jalston Fowler, we haven't seen much of in the backfield, except for short yardage situations on the goal line and in 4th down situations earlier this season.
Dexter McCluster, getting his most extensive work here in the last 2 or 3 games, I think was frustrated in 2014 as they brought him in as a free agent, signed him to a 3-year deal. We saw what he did at Ole Miss. We saw what he did in Kansas City. And we're starting to see some more of those kinds of things in terms of his reps on the field on Sundays. I want to see him in the return game bust one, because there's a couple of spots where he was close.
They've said over the last couple of weeks they felt like they were close in the punt return game, just a block here or there.
But yeah, I think that was I think that's something to look forward to there, because that's the kind of thing that they haven't had and need.
Yes.
Not that special teams has been awful or anything. They just need a couple of breaks here and there. And that's certainly a place where you can get it. And certainly if he's fast enough, he gets a crease, he can go. There's no doubt about that.
Titans did make a roster move. They've waived Rico Richardson after bringing him up for this last game, and re-signed Chase Kaufman, who they waived to make the move for Rico Richardson. That's a good sign for Harry Douglas, right? That he may be back?
I would think so, because the team only kept 4 wide receivers, and that was the reason they activated and elevated Rico off of the practice squad on Saturday. And so they've just reversed roles there and re-signed Kaufman, I guess they're putting him back on the practice squad. And yeah, I would think that was a very good sign for Harry Douglas, who's dealing with some bruised ribs.
When we come back, we will preview Titans and Texans here on Titans Talk on News Channel 5+.